Welcome back. It has now been more than 6 weeks since 4 students were brutally stabbed to death at a home near the University of Idaho, but still no suspects, no motive, no arrests. Police say they're searching for a white Hyundai Elantra, but they're holding back almost all other information. And worse yet, maybe they don't have any. So what is the latest from Moscow, Idaho? Joining me now to discuss, co-host of In Pursuit on Investigation Discovery, Callahan Walsh returns. Welcome back, Callahan.
Hey, thanks, Kenny. Thanks for having me.
Is this investigation too big for the Moscow Police Department?
That's a great question, and it could be. You know, I know they're trying to get help from other agencies, but this is a case that has stalled. We're going week after week with no arrests, with no suspects named. They're grasping for any information to help break this case wide open. And it just seems like they don't have any. And it's unfortunate because they haven't been sharing any information with the public either. The public can absolutely be law enforcement's force multiplier. They can help provide tips. They can help provide information that law enforcement could use to really, again, break this door wide open. And unfortunately, they haven't really been harnessing the power of the public. We'll see what happens with this investigation, but we need an arrest. We need answers as soon as possible.
Well, they need to do something because they've created this vacuum which has been filled. You know, you have pointed out that there have been TikTokers who get hundreds of thousands of views by singling out people in the community with no evidence and essentially ruining their lives. Tell me about the professor at University of Idaho who's pushing back because, you know, he was named by amateur sleuths as an informal suspect.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate that we have, you know, these TikTokers out there who are making money off the backs of defaming other individuals, this university professor, off the backs of these murder victims who are putting out, you know, psychic readings, these tarot card readings, and ousting people who have nothing to do with this investigation, nothing to do with the murders, defaming them, saying that they're the ones who committed them. It's unfortunate that we've gone to that level. I think part of it is because there hasn't been much information released, and these internet sleuths are reaching. They're looking for anything and creating their own narrative. It's unfortunate that's happening because it's taking away the real focus and the real attention on where we should be looking, on the people that we should be looking at.
Who should we
and
be
these
looking
innocent
at?
people are being caught in the crossfire.
Who are some of the
Well, I think
people?
they should be looking at any individual that's on the sex offender registry within, you know, at least 20, 30, 40 miles of that home, anybody who's been convicted of a sexual assault anywhere in and around that campus or that home, those are the people that should be focusing on, and they should be harnessing the power of the public to make sure that they can fill in that knowledge and that information that the law enforcement might not have.
What have you heard from profilers in terms of the makeup of whoever perpetrated this? What kind of person would go into a house? You know, is it more likely that they knew these people because of the familiarity of the way they were slaughtered?
Right. Well, talking to profilers, I've heard a number of different opinions, but what many of them are saying is that something must have happened in the hours, days, weeks, or even months leading up to this to where one of those individuals, and they don't know which one, but one of them was a target. This isn't likely a case where a random individual comes into a random home, commits a random crime, and is somehow able to get away scot-free without any shred of evidence. That's just not a likely scenario here. So there's something going on that I know law enforcement walked back saying that somebody was targeted, but look, there's a reason this crime occurred, and law enforcement needs to get down to the bottom of it. And that has to be looking at the steps leading up to this this murder.
Yeah.
And that's not just the steps in that night. It's not just the few hours. Look back. Was anybody stalking any of these victims? Was there a relationship that had gone awry? Was there any reason that anybody would want to harm any of these individuals? And it's not just that night. Look back a long ways.
And they have cleared so many people, and they did that so quickly. And it seemed almost impossible to do a deep, necessary investigation. But, you know, you're absolutely right. When you withhold that much information, then the case sort of starves. And what a disservice that does to these victims and their families who are really, really desperate for answers and justice. Callahan Walsh, thank you so much. Great to see you.
Thank you for having me, Kennedy. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.